I've been doing security now for a while, and I can tell you that one of the times that I think about the most when I start thinking about scary times or times that it really becomes real in the security, being a security leader. Several years ago, obviously, I won't mention the company that I was working at the time, but I can remember it was a Friday afternoon, just like these things always happen, and we started noticing just a little bit of funny, um, uh, funny data coming from our application that we had running at the time. Right, it was one of the large application across multiple data centers, and so some of the data that we were getting back was just um, a little bit weird. Some of the results that were coming back, and so um, obviously, on a Friday afternoon, I get my best security engineer and architect on it, saying, "Hey, can you start looking at this?" Right, and so um, we really dig in, and it starts off by, yeah, this, maybe we might have a virus on here. Something a little bit strange is going on, and the we're seeing, different versions of Apache kind of running on different servers, which is a little weird because they're supposed to all be the same, right? And so we're not sure why our environments have gotten out of whack. So let's dig into that. That could be something, but it could not could be something, right? And then they start digging a little bit more and a little bit more, um, and it turns out that it looks like that version of Apache is one that we've not seen before. And so they keep digging even more, probably into Saturday or Sunday at this point, and we really start trying to understand what's going on, and it looks like some of our um, applications have been hacked. We can tell that you know the it's not just like a malware that got installed, but like the actual core Apache version itself had kind of been modified, and we're like, oh, holy crap, that's new, right? And so we keep going on and on, and we keep discovering that this has kind of happened not across all of them, but across several of our data centers. And so we kind of run a lot of scripts to find out which ones were the original that was supposed to be deployed, which ones were not, um, and it turns out after we about 3 or 4 days of really doing analysis, digging in, running a lot of scripts, doing some crazy stuff in Python, it turns out that we had somehow had a nation state that had made its way in there, done a lot of modification, and started to try and get some of that data out. And so once you kind of realize that, it puts a whole new perspective, I think, a little bit on scary, because a lot of times you think from a CISO, you're just out there looking at script kiddies or these people that just run the scripts. But when you really start digging in, and you have one of those incidents where it's not just a virus, it's not just a cryptomine or something like that, but very sophisticated, that was really hard to detect. You're not entirely sure how you got on there. Like, I think from a CISO perspective, that was one of the days that really stands out to me, and you could just kind of see it progress over the course of days, where it went from, I think we may have a virus or something's going on here, to, oh, we can actually trace this back to a specific APT, and that they wanted some of our data for a very specific reason, right? And then from there, obviously, kind of the whole resolution takes on a whole life of its own. But that's the one that really sticks out to me as the scariest part of my security career so far.